Hello, today or night or whenever time this is, I'm not exactly sure. It's like, I don't know, screw that, the clock, it's broken. Today I want to talk about stuff, what is it, school, and the general subjects and how kids want to talk about them. Because I've like just watched a bunch of videos talking about like how kids think about stuff and how they interpret situations. And then up on my recommended came like, was it someone talking about was it school systems and like how bad that is, that crap, that spiel has been going on for a while. It's good, but everyone's heard it kind of. Most people should have heard it, yet school hasn't really changed, so I don't really think it is. But anyway, what I want to talk about, which connected in my brain due to those two videos, is how and why kids don't want to, or teenagers don't want to do certain subjects. Like either they don't want to do any of the subjects in school, or they want to do all of them, every single one, even the extracurricular activities. I think that's what it is. Those like super kids who like, because you have those two kids. There's like two types of kids. There's not only those two, but like these two. And there's like the one that doesn't try at school at all, never tries anything. Anytime they're asked to do something, "Nah, I don't want to do it. Don't want to do it," and they will just moan, just won't shut up about not wanting to do it, and just be a general annoyance throughout the entire thing if they're forced to. While you have those nice kids who try everything, they do everything, and are fully like go at everything with like 100% of their effort, 100% effort. And do you know why? And I wanted to I want to get into why they do that. Now, I want to start off with like me, for instance. Let's put me as an example. Um, when I was in primary school, which is like the lowest rank from like lowest rank, is like the kids school. It's from like 5 generally to like 5 to around 12. Just before you get into a teenager, and when you get a teenager, go into secondary. Primary school is that like little kid where that's the time we determine as a kid. And throughout that entire time, like obviously I didn't really care about much, but still it's like when it came to like my 3 subjects you had in primary, in Ireland anyway, is you have English, maths and Irish. Those are 3, and in my primary school every week we would get a test on those 3, and every week we'd have to learn something like for English, the 2 languages, and English and Irish, we'd have to learn like specific words and what they meant and how to say them. For maths, we'd have to learn certain like equations, like 11 times every single number, like 11 from by 1 to 12, or something like that, or how to do this sort of equation, stuff like that. Now, for maths and English, for my example, for maths and English, I pretty much aced them. I didn't ace them, but like I got pretty high. Like I only missed out on like 2 or 3 questions out of like the 20, which is actually pretty good. I was really pretty good. Like those. Let's just say this is like near the max, okay? And then here's Irish. Boom, zilch, nada. I'd be lucky to get 2 or 3 of them right. And you know why that is? Do you know why I was so good at maths and English and like loved like doing them so much? Is because Pokemon. Uh, when I was younger, I didn't know how to like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I didn't know how to read. Didn't know how to read what the thing was saying on it. And because you needed to read, because I knew that you needed to read these so you could choose your Pokemon. Because in Mystery Dungeon, you have to like go through like this questionnaire. Then it gives you a Pokemon. But I didn't care. I wanted Cyndaquil, but it just kept giving me random ones. So I just have to keep going through it over and over and over until I got it, just randomly. But if I was able to read, I would be able to like just pick the answers that will allow me to get to Cyndaquil, and that's why I wanted to read. And also because Pokemon has a lot of numbers, and most other games I have like I didn't have Skyrim when I was younger, but some other games, um, like Mario, not really, but yeah, mainly Pokemon, and then because Pokemon's so fixated on like numbers and what these numbers mean, and like how this stuff adds and stuff like that, I really like maths. and like adding up, like, oh, this is how much damage this does, and this is how much damage this does, and this is minuses and pluses. Like if you use this move, you lose minus 1 PP unless you have a pressure, like the opponent has a pressure, and then minuses 2 PP, which is power points. It's PP. Anyway, or like how much damage is going to do minus like the defense and crap. That's really complicated, by the way. Really overcomplicated how RPGs calculate like defense and attack. It's really weird. Most of them anyway. But that's the reason I wanted to do it, and that's the reason those kids who ace everything, like try their best at everything, be it PE, English, maths, any subject, it's mainly to get to something they want. That's why I did English and maths. But what does Irish give me? Zilch. Like nothing I want to do requires me to do Irish. The only reason I'd ever try Irish is because school says so. Like my mother didn't even care if I did Irish or not too much, because she knew it was useless unless I go up north, up to like northwest or someplace. It's useless. So I never tried, and that's the reason kids don't try subjects, is because it doesn't allow them to attain something they want. Those kids who are like, because you know those kids like the smart like nerd kids who are good at everything apart from PE. They don't care for PE, like physical education, or PE means physical education, or like sports or whatever it's called, or from wherever you're from. The reason they don't try that is because they don't want to do anything with sports. They want to go get a good paying job, like an accountant or something. I know it's pretty boring, but they want to get be able to get a job they want. But they know the job they want doesn't require like physical effort, like in construction or crap like that. So I'm not saying crap. I'm just it's a thing Irish people say for all this stuff. It's stuff basically. Now, because construction, off topic. But that's the reason they would try so hard at those subjects, but not so much at PE. They just be like, oh, this, I don't want to do it. Because they're nice kids, they'd always get out as well. So, teachers, you kind of do, I don't understand that, but sure. That's why those other kids, like, like the popular kids, they don't try anything. Because all they want to do is just have fun with their friends and talk with their friends and go online and watch people play video games and crap like that, and like talk online and make stupid videos like this. I'm not a popular kid, by the way. Well, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? I'm not a popular kid. Anyway, what they would have done is they just didn't care, because they had enough. That's all they wanted to do was just mess around. So they didn't try anything. That's the reason people didn't do anything in school. That's why I think school should start giving kids or teenagers or even people in college reasons for why they want to do it. By the time you're in college, you probably already have a reason, like you know what job you want, so that's natural incentive. But some people don't, and they just go into college because people say you have to go into college. Burping, just ate some food in here. But they go into college and they have no real reason. They just go because people tell them to. That's the only reason most people go into school. It's like, I don't want my parents being disappointed, so I'll go, but I really don't want to do it. I really don't want to do it. Yeah, so that's what like schools and stuff should start doing, is giving kids a reason to do it. Like, oh, what, you like art? Well, see this bit of art you can do? Well, this requires this type of thing. It doesn't work for every subject, because the only thing Irish is. But yeah, anyway, the reason they don't, like, for Irish, yeah, I had to cut it. It's something to do with, like, the dog was messing around and like, I had to cut it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, it doesn't work for every subject, because you have stuff like Irish, for instance, and it's like, what can you get Irish to do? It's a language. It's useful for talking to things, like, but it can work for other languages though, like Spanish, for instance. Because in my school we only have like Spanish or French. You can do either of them. But I do Spanish because it gets me it's like very close in terms of like the way you speak it and some of the words. It's a very close language to Portuguese, which I don't know, but I want to know so I can speak to my other family and understand what the hell they're saying, you know. So that's an incentive for me to do it. So like I'm not that good at Spanish, but I'm leagues better at it than I am at like Irish, for instance, because like I can say like a proper sentence in Spanish, while in Irish I'm just like, even though I've only been learning Irish in Spanish for like 3 years, while I've been learning Irish for like most of my life, like 10 years pretty much. So it's like having an interest or a reason to do something makes like learning about it way more effective. Like your brain is like, oh, this is like, it's like a innate survival like primal instinct, like, oh, this can help me with something I want to gain. Usually like back in the day, like back in like prehistoric times, it used to be so like, oh yeah, I want to like get physically stronger so I can survive. But now it's more like I just want to do it, really. Um, Nowadays, and that's what we have to kind of what we no not we what schools have to do. They have to find out what the kids like, and then give them a reason why these subjects would help them attain what they would like to do or want to do in the future. Now, it doesn't work for every kid now because not every kid wants something to do in the future. But find what they like now and tell them, oh, this can potentially help you, like with the stuff you already like now, and potentially help you find a job related to them, like be good at a job that's related to those subjects, or get or actually make these skip the things you like doing into a job themselves, which would be really good. Which would be really good for those kids, to give them an actual goal to go for, which would improve society more immensely. Like everyone's gunning for what they want to do. It's kind of like in My Hero Academia. You know what your job is. Like, oh, what, I shoot water from my hands. Well, your job is a firefighter. Work towards that. Don't focus on being like a person who rescues people at sea. You're not going to be good for that. The guy who can breathe on the water, he'll be good for that. You focus on what you're made to do, which is qualifiers, qualifiers and stuff like that, or like give water to people who in like Africa or something. Give them something they like, not necessarily, or there's something that's a bit of a different topic because that's what they're naturally built biologically to do. This is more of a want versus not wanting to think. But anyway, that's what schools just need to do to incentivize kids to do it. Learn, like, do it on an individual basis. Now, doing something on an individual basis to the school system, that's a big no-no because that requires we have to stop churning out little robots to do work at meaningless jobs that don't exist anymore. And we can't do that, that's not a thing. But yeah, they're going to have to start doing that, or else you're just going to keep getting people who just wander around the world, don't know what to do, end up just either homeless, which is one of the worst situations, or or some other bad stuff. Because like you have to give these kids an incentive to work towards these stuff so they can do the subjects and give them something to work towards. Give the kids something they want to do that they can work towards, and they will work towards it. That's what all humans will do. They want something, they'll work towards it. Anyway, that's a general video. I think I got across everything I wanted to say. There's probably some more stuff, because again, I'm a goddamn teenager, so so take everything I say with a slight tinge of salt, because not that experienced in the world. I don't have much to say, but anyway. Yes, my general opinion. You have anything that would fix any problems that I said in the comments, you know? So yeah, here's your daily dose of me procrastinating instead of writing or doing homework. God, yeah, my name really fits.